So let's talk about the matter at hand. How are we going to get this plane landed?
So we got to get this plane landed by doing two things. We've got to provide real support for the American people and a meaningful attack on the climate crisis. And we got to pay for it in a way that works toward just unrigging the system a little bit. Those are the two pieces we've got in motion. It's always hard to solve a bunch of things at once, but I think we're making progress.
That's so interesting. I mean, at this point, there's a little bit of a rush, though, don't you think, Katty Kay, just in terms of these elections we have with the midterms coming up? I feel like the Democrats really need something that they can, with meat on the bones, that they can really run on in the final days of the election. I mean, when we're looking at some of these close races, Terry McAuliffe here in Virginia, it would help, wouldn't it, if there was something that he could say that we got done, the Dems got done?
So, I mean, Democrats in the White House, economists in the White House, Democrats on Capitol Hill have been saying for weeks now, look, in history, when we look back at this, what will matter is that we get it done. They won't mind that there was a couple of weeks delay. Nobody said about FDR. How long did it take? The Affordable Care Act, they didn't pass until March of, the year after President Obama was inaugurated. But at some point, saying a delay doesn't matter does matter. You actually have to have a deadline. Is this weekend, as the president, particularly on the climate stuff that you mentioned, the president's leaving to COP26, is this the deadline that we can look at with some confidence?
Yeah, it's time. It's time for us to get this done. And you are exactly right. What matters most of all is that we do the right things. But it also matters that we get it done. And I think we've reached a point where we're all kind of saying the same thing to each other. So delaying this another month or another 3 months or another 6 months, all that does is give the lobbyists more time to come in and just continue to swarm over every aspect of this. So we got to move, because we also need to get it done now, because we need to be delivering next spring, next summer. We need to make change in this country. Child care. Mamas can't wait years and years to get this done. They want something, and they want it now. Same sort of thing on climate action. We can't wait another day. So the urgency of what each of these packages is about is another thing that drives us forward.
All right. Joe, jump in. I think the audio works now.
Senator, I hope you can hear me all right.
I can.
Fantastic. So, Senator, the House bill, the House tax bill plan really doesn't go after the 400 richest families in America. It goes after people who make income and not people who have made tens of billions of dollars on capital and just reinvesting. 400 richest families in America, as you know very well, they pay about a 7% tax rate. Small business owners in your state that are successful pay 37% a tax rate, who make billions of dollars less than they do. I get these numbers from ProPublica. Warren Buffett, a guy who's always talking about tax me, that's fine. Well, Warren only paid 0.10% on $24 billion made between 2014 and 2018. Jeff Bezos made $973 billion. He only paid 0.98%. Again, small business owners in Massachusetts pay a tax rate 36% more than Jeff Bezos, and almost $1 trillion. Why can't this get done? Why can't it get done in the House?
So, look, you preached to the choir on this one. You know that this is exactly what I want to get done. But here's the thing. Here in Washington, the voices of the billionaires are a whole lot louder than the voices of anyone else. They have armies of lobbyists. They have armies of lawyers. They have armies of PR people who not only are swarming every office here in Washington, but also trying to stir people up all across the country. They're telling lies about a lot of these programs, trying to get people to call their senators, call their representatives, because, let's face it, a bunch of them just don't want to have to pay more in taxes. And, they've been running this scam on us for what, 40 years now?
Yep.
About, you're all going to be richer off. If only the richest folks don't have to pay any taxes. And I think we've just finally reached a point where not only do the American people say enough, we might actually get people on Capitol Hill saying enough. So that's what we got to do.
I was going to say, Senator, Democrats are in charge of the White House. Democrats are in charge of the House. Democrats are in charge of the Senate. Democrats need to listen to you because, actually, we've talked about this before. This isn't just a left-wing thing. This is good conservatives, good liberals can all agree that Jeff Bezos, love him or not, shouldn't pay 0% in taxes. Elon Musk shouldn't pay 0% in income taxes. All of these billionaires from year in year, Nike this year paid 0% in taxes. Archer Daniels Midland, 0% in taxes. Oil companies over the past couple of years, 0% in taxes. Who can support that, and why can't Democrats and Republicans come together on this?
Right. And look, you're going to have to talk to the Republicans about why they think that's okay. But our job right now is to get all 50 Democrats in the Senate on the same place to move forward. And it's two pieces, exactly as you talk about. One is the billionaires themselves. Jeff Bezos, his income is less than that of a public school teacher in Boston. So he just pays little tiny taxes. So if you raise the rate or put an extra surcharge, you know how much you get? Nothing out of that. The second part is what we have to do for the giant corporations. And there we've got a minimum tax that once you're over $1 billion, you have to pay this minimum tax. So billionaire individuals, billionaire corporations, they're going to have to pay up.
Gene.
So tell us about your meeting with Senator Sinema. How did that go? What'd you talk about? What'd you decide?
So look, I'm not going to talk about private conversations, but I will say this. I think it's really important to note, and I want to talk about Democrats broadly. We understand that the game is rigged. And we are looking for ways to unrig it. We understand that simply taxing income at a higher and higher level, and understand, I'm willing to raise the marginal rates on taxes, but it's not enough. The billionaires and trillionaires that we may be headed toward laugh all the way to the bank when we do that. Do you think Elon Musk cares what the marginal rate is?
Yeah.
When he's not paying anything? Jeff Bezos, he's not paying anything. They don't care if the marginal rate goes to a bazillion, because the way they have figured out how to exploit the system means they never pay. I think of it this way. You know, we decided a long time ago, more than 100 years ago, when you get richer, you're going to have to pay some tax on that. Great, progressive taxation. And for people who earn income, W-2, you know, do it with a shovel, you pay every year. We all know what that's like. But for people who have a little something to start with and say they buy stock and sit on it, they get richer, but they don't actually, under this quirk in our tax laws, they don't pay for years and years and years. And in fact, if they die never having sold the property, the new basis goes to their heirs, and they literally never pay. All we're talking about doing here is saying every year, everybody pays for how much richer you got.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, grateful for you. Thank you for coming on, and good luck landing the plane.
Yes.
Okay? We're going to get it done. We'll be right
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.